Some of you guys that usually, watch my video podcasts here and there, the few person that watch me would know that usually when I start my videos, I would say, "Welcome to another podcast of the current situation at Manchester United." Now, given the current state of events with the World Cup and stuff, I won't be saying that as much, although there will be a few times where I'll be diving deep into a few Manchester United related news. Um, but from now until like the end of the World Cup, I'll be covering a few videos where I'm spewing out my thoughts on a World Cup game. Who I think will be going to the next round, who I think will be, you know, play off the tournament. This exciting process. Because see, one of the things I like about the World Cup, and I was saying my brethren on the phone earlier when I was watching the Qatar game versus Ecuador, which I'm gonna get into in a second. I was telling him that one of the things I like about the World Cup is that you will see stars just rise. Stars that you never hear, you never heard of. Man, that's poor English, yeah? Stars players that you've never heard of before the World Cup, but because they made amends at the World Cup, they had a name for themselves at the World Cup. Now you're saying, this guy is gonna be something, and he's going to probably go to a big club after the World Cup. That's how I saw James Rodriguez, and he did. In 2014, James Rodriguez was the young talent of the tournament. He was also Colombia's top scorer, and he was just 22. And he moved to Real Madrid after the World Cup. Now, I think I've heard of James Rodriguez even before the 2014 World Cup, because for starters, he used to play for Porto, and he was a good player at Porto, given his young age, and he moved to AS Monaco. Yes, him and Falco was doing bits there, so it's not like it's the first time I was hearing James, but given that he was young and he was on a world class stage, and he was a young player bringing a nation on his own small shoulders, that's very that's very that's a very hard task to do at such an age. So anyway, this World Cup, I'm looking to see who's going to be the rising stars of this World Cup that are young players. Listen, young players. Now, in this video is going to be based on, like I mentioned, the World Cup. Who I believe will be winning the tournament, who I believe will maybe be top scorer. Although it's a bit too early to even come to that conclusion, but I'll still give my opinion. Who will get drop out? Yeah, so this is going to be quite of a ramble video. Nothing Manchester United. Let's put Manchester United in a box for a month and then open it after a month, because the World Cup is for a month. Now let us address the game at hand that happened early this afternoon, actually. Late this morning to early this afternoon. Qatar versus Ecuador. Now, given that Qatar is the home side, I don't think any of us football fans are delusionally fooled to think Qatar, although they are the host of this prestigious tournament, will actually do something in this tournament because they're the home, the home side. Not really. Because based on our stats, I saw on Facebook it said that Qatar is like the first host of a World Cup to lose in an opening match. So, and Ecuador, no disrespect to Ecuador, Ecuador is not the hardest opponent. So, if them go lose to Ecuador, you know, so they're going to hit the door at some point in the story. I would even say they're going to lose, they're going to get dropped out. I think they're going to drop out of the World Cup in the next game, because they're going to lose the next game, in my opinion. I don't think this game, when I watched the game of Qatar versus Ecuador, I didn't see any overt signs of Ecuador looking to dominate. No, I didn't see any signs of Qatar looking to dominate Ecuador. Ecuador was all over Qatar. I don't think there was no moment in time where you could say Ecuador, not Ecuador, man, Ecuador is on my head. You could say that Qatar had the knife edge, like they were on top. I mean, they were knocking balls on the in the second half. They're calm, they're composed, trying to find their head to get a goal. But they were not dominating. They were not, it wasn't clear cut to say, okay, Qatar is losing 2-0, but them dominating stuff. I've never I've never seen that in the game. Again, they were holding possession, but they were not doing anything with the possession that they had. There was no clear cut chances. The few chances that they got, they missed it. There was this cross on the right hand side from a Qatar player in the second half. I'll be going all over the place. It's not in a chronological order. This cross from a Qatar youth got the ball into the box to the back bridging from Qatar, and the ball just seep off and head gone for a throw in. Not a throw in, a goal kick. So that was like a golden opportunity to at least get a goal. Ecuador, like I said, Ecuador is all over them. I would say my brethren is because me and him usually talk on the phone when it comes down to football because we love football. I was telling him that Ecuador has a lot of athletic players and they have a lot of stamina. And because of that, they're going to be all over Qatar. Qatar couldn't cope with the press of Ecuador. Again, Ecuador is not not any big national side by any stretch. But the fact that they play as a team, the unity with them, they know when to press and they know when to express themselves on the pitch. Is his name Eder Valencia or Ener Valencia? The Valencia brethren that plays as a striker for Ecuador and he's captain. Antonio Valencia's, liquid brother. Got 2 goals today. My brethren was saying, my youth, see that brother the trash. Voila, him get 2 goals. And I was rubbing it in his face. He can't call a brethren trash and he scored 2 goals in the World Cup. This brethren has 5 World Cup goals already in the World Cup. I think he made his debut in the 2014 World Cup and he got at least, I think he got 3 goals there, and he was a much younger player then. So yeah, Ecuador has fuck. He came off with an injury, I believe. This is the thing, man. Again, like I said, this is going to be quite a far rumble, so I'll be all over the place. Ecuador, Valencia had all of Valencia gave 3, not gave. Valencia made 3 guys of the Qatar side. Man, I can't even talk. Valencia got 3 men of the Qatar side booked. Yellow card each. Some person may say that it was a dive, like he went over, like he was going over the edge or something for a dive deep in the sea. It wasn't really, it looked like a dive, but it's not a dive. The fact was that, like I mentioned, the Ecuador side is very athletic and they're very quick. So if you try to go press them, they're going to tire you. They're not only going to tire you, but given that they have fast feet, it's going to be very hard for you to catch up with their movement. So that is why Ecuador players got a lot of faults. Good turnout, man. Hey, I know those Qatar youths, those Qatar fans in the Man City own a Biba or whatever, looking like they're Talibans in the stadium or whatever. I know some of them despise Ener Valencia of Ecuador because they say, man, we take away the first goal. We rule out the first goal. Man, fuck, let me go touch on that. That's a goal. The first goal that was taken away, ruled offside, that's a goal. That's a goal. I've seen worse goals being given that were clear-cut offside than this one. This is not much of an offside. I've seen where it was very specific. Like you could see the leg that was like an inch over the defensive line, so you could see that it was off. Dude, you cannot be so specific in it. That's going to like milk out the passion, the drive, the enthusiasm out of the game of football that we love. This is the World Cup, man. So my opinion is that if FIFA is at it again, man, this corrupting thing, man, taking away the first goal score that was not really offside, but you're looking for an excuse for Qatar to not get down in the first few minutes. But there's a saying that we Jamaicans have when we're playing football: cheating game never prosper. The ball never lies. So if you go take away the goal that I score and you say it's offside, I'm gonna go score again. Why? Because cheating game never prosper. So you may have the moment of taking away my goal and say, okay, I have the upper hand. Nah, cheating game don't prosper, bro. I'm going to get another goal. The ball doesn't lie. And hell, they could have been like down 5-0, 4-0. Qatar. Is me. But Mohammed or Malcolm X, whoever, was looking down on them and saying, look, saying you're not even supposed to be in this tournament. But, seeing that you're the home host and so forth, I'll allow you to be in this tournament. But you're going to get knocked out at the group stage. They're just there for show. They're just there for appearance. Qatar is not going to make amends in this tournament. So the good thing about them is that they're not going to go home because they're already on home soil. So, another thing, like I said, I'll be over the place. Most of the players that play for Qatar played for Xavi when Xavi was managing in Qatar. So I don't know if they think that they could have rubbed out one like what Spain did in 2010, because most of the Spain players played for Barcelona. And they're saying, all right, boom, we're going to indoctrinate, we're going to apply what Xavi did with us a year ago and see if it go work at the World Cup. Ecuador pressed the life out of you. You were hardly in possession of the ball. And even when you had possession of the ball, it's not like you could just pass a player, because you get either foul or you would get knocked over because they're stronger than Qatar players, Ecuador players, or you would just get intercepted as a clean tackle. So the fact is, you be hoofing up the ball to the Qatar players shows us fans that know football say, yo, you don't have the meat to meet the criteria of beating Ecuador when it comes down to ball possession. So you're hoofing the ball up front, or you're hoofing the ball on the diagonal wings. That's what it's telling me. But anyway, I want this video to be shorter than 20 minutes. So many guys may be wondering, okay, son, what side do you support? You've been running off your mouth for what, 20, 30, almost 30 minutes now. What side is supporting World Cup? I'll tell you this, I'm not ashamed to say. Originally, I used to support Netherlands in 2010 and 2014. Yes, I wouldn't say I jumped ship completely after 2014, but this is what I did. In 2015, listen to me here. In 2015, my affection to France intensified. I always liked France. Is me. So although I was supporting Netherlands, is me, and cheating with France on his side, I knew deep down I really wanted to support France. Not because France was a superior side, not because France had a lot of talent players. I like France because of the way they played and some of the players that they had. That's why I supported France. Plus, France had a lot of black players, so that's why I support France. I ain't gonna lie about that. So that's why I like France. Not that I disliked Netherlands any less because I liked France, but the fact was that Netherlands was dying a slow death. You see me? Some person may say, a bad wagon is that, me I listen to it. You bro, hey, call what you want to call it. The fact is that I own up to it, most persons wouldn't. I support France right now. I see them going far deep into this tournament. And I've been supporting France since what? Since fall of 2015. I've been supporting France since when France played against Germany on French soil and there was bombs outside of the stadium. That was what? 7 years ago? Yeah, fall of 2015. Matter of fact, it was this month. This same month, November of 2015, France played against Germany on French soil at PSG Stadium, I believe. And there were bombs outside. There were bombs outside. That's when I started to support France. So it's not because it's not since I've seen France, do very well in the Euro 16 and win the World Cup in 2018. I've been supporting France well before that. Mine's getting dark. So yeah, I support France. Now I'm not going to say I still support Netherlands. I'm going to be honest about that. So you can call me all the names in the book. I'm not a big supporter of Netherlands right now. My heart is with France. Again, there are persons that have 3 sides supporting, 4 sides supporting, but they're not going to say that publicly because they go get called out to their own name. I will say that publicly. I support France now. No longer Netherlands, although I still like Netherlands. It's me. But France is with me right now. And it's going to stay there. I'm not going to change that statement. Or go jump ship to another side. My heart is with France. Don't be fooled by the German cap, by the way. I'm still with France. I ain't go jump no ship to Germany. It's me. But as it relates to France, seeing that France is the defending champions of the World Cup, I see them. Oh, it's snowing, huh? Yeah, it's actually like -5 degrees and it feels like -15 degrees. So it's very cold and snowing outside. I see France going deep in this tournament. I see them going at least, at bare minimum, quarterfinals, if not. To be very optimistic, I see them going to the finals at least. If they were to drop out, I would say they were going to get dropped out of the semifinals or the quarterfinals. Let us address the big let's address the big bear in the room, the 800-pound bear in the room. The World Cup is a funny one, and it's been funny since since 1998. France won the World Cup they won their first World Cup. Is their first World Cup? No, because Platini won the World Cup with France, didn't he? I think it's them second World Cup or something. My head could be off. But yeah, France won the World Cup in 1998. In 2002, man got dropped out at the group stage by some African side. I think it's Papa Diop going to knock out France. Yeah, then get knocked out of the group stage. This is the defending champions we're talking about. In 2006, the winners of the 2002 tournament, which was Brazil, clash against France again in the quarterfinals this time in 2006. Now, persons were talking up a game talking about Brazil was going to win this tournament because they had the quartet that embodied Juninho, Kaká, Ronaldinho. Who else? I'm missing someone else. I wouldn't say Roberto, although Roberto was a very world-class player. My man was playing for Bayern Munich. So that Brazil side was stacked with stars that were at their peak. And they had players on the bench that were main starters for their own club. Adriano was a main man for Inter Milan. And he couldn't start. Because, Brazil was accommodating Ronaldo, who was past it at that time. Let's be real about that. He was out of shape and past, but he was still scoring goals. And my man was on the bench. They had players like Robinho on the bench, and he was balling for Real Madrid in the number 10. So that Brazil side was person was saying, okay, Brazil is going to win this tournament. Screw Italy, screw Germany, screw France. Brazil has a chance of winning this tournament. They got knocked out by France. Italy won the tournament in 2006. Fast forward to 2010, Italy got knocked out of the group stage by I think it's by New Zealand or something like that. It's who did knock them out. I think it's New Zealand who knocked out Italy out of the World Cup. Was it New Zealand or I think it's no. It's some small minor side. Nothing to brag about. Well, you beat different champions. That's something to brag about. But in relation to who beat Italy, it's not no big side like France or whatever. Although France had their battles with egos and player management in 2010. And Elka was talking trash about the manager. Players were revolting, players were rebelling, players didn't want to play, this and that. All of that was in the French camp boot. So that wasn't a calm, composed camp. That camp was up in arms, really. Like it's Ukraine versus Russia war. So Spain go win the World Cup in 2010. They lost. They get knocked out at the group stage in 2014. Germany won the World Cup in 2014. They got knocked out at the group stage by Mexico. No, they got knocked out at the group stage by South Asia. No, South Korea, starring Heung-min Son, or Song Heung-min. France won the World Cup in 2018. Now, we're in 2022. Is France going to continue this trend where the defending champions drop out at the group stage? Because I support France, so I don't want them to be belittled by any side that they're in a group with. Now, my lips are so dry, it's very cool, like I mentioned. So expecting me to be talking funny a few times. Is France going to get knocked out at the group stage? Seriously. Now, France have always had their woes and worries with when it comes down to egos. We've seen that with Mbappe and Giroud. You see me? Mbappe, we know Mbappe, given his young age and small stature, that this dude has the ego of Thanos' head. Giroud, who is looking to beat Thierry Henry's record for France, he is 3 goals shy, 3 goals short of becoming top scorer for France of all time. If Benzema wasn't doing this sex tape with Valbuena and Ribéry back in 2015, Benzema would have been top scorer a long time ago. This wouldn't be in question. But seeing that Benzema is back into the fold, looking to get goals and lead his country to another successful triumph in the World Cup, I still have worries about France. Pogba has missed out of this World Cup due to injuries. Kante has missed out. That's our midfield gone from our start. Dude, I know a lot of us Man United fans were talking about Pogba can't play double pivot. Is that he can't play double pivot? Is that he can't play double pivot with the wrong person in the double pivot? That is why Pogba struggled a few times in the double pivot. If Pogba had a player like Kante for France, as he did at Manchester, if Pogba had a player like Kante side of him at Manchester United, Pogba would still be a Manchester United player, and he would not have gotten this boatload of criticism he's gotten ever since his tenure at Manchester United. Because Pogba, man, when Pogba has a player like Kante side of him, that's going to release him of his defensive woes and worries and duties. Pogba is going to be one, if not the best midfielder on the planet, alongside with Toni Kroos and Modric. That's not a question. That's not even an opinion. The fact is that with Pogba out and Kante out, there is midfield worries about France. We have our attack. We have Ousmane Dembele, Nkoudou is out with injury. We have Giroud, we have Mbappe, we have Benzema. I think we have a few other players. Marcel got missed out, unfortunately. But yeah, so France has a good attack. France has a decent defense, but what's the main... Okay, it has been said that if you don't win the midfield battle, you're going to come second best. Basically, go lose or draw the game. So basically, our best midfielder is out of the picture. I mean, we have a young youth from Real Madrid that plays midfield, but he's not at the status of Kante or Pogba, is he? No, he's not. He doesn't even have the experience of Kante or Pogba. But this is probably where he can make a name for himself. That's what the World Cup is about, isn't it? I still have worries about the midfield for France, man. So yeah, I believe France will at least, to be very optimistic, I believe they'll be going to another final. No, whether they win that final or not, that's another story. If they get knocked out, it's going to be in the semi-finals or the quarter-final. I think they're going to pass the round of 60 group stage. Is me. I'm being an objective football supporter. Not saying that France go get. I'm not going to be like one of these France supporters and say, they know the Le Bleus, the Le Bleus. They're not going. The Le Bleus, they're not going to get knocked. No, I'm not going to say that. Any side can get knocked out, given the day. Any side can get knocked out. Germany got knocked out and they were defending champions. France get knocked out and they were defending champions in 2002. Brazil got knocked out. Italy get knocked out. I don't even think Italy got 2 points. So the fact is that anybody, this is why we love the World Cup, because small sides can actually show up against big sides. Spain get knocked out. Spain get knocked out by Chile, I think, in 2014. So the fact is this. We'll see if France is going to break this unfortunate curse of a routine. Again, this trend has been happening since 2002, and it needs to end. Can France actually break the cords of, when it comes down to being the defending champions and continuing to win whether they continue to win the tournament or they don't allow themselves to get knocked out at group stage? This is the questions person needs to be asking. Argentina, I was telling my brethren that I feel that Tina is gonna go far in this World Cup. I believe Tina is gonna. Argentina has great players from defense to attack. They have good midfielders. No, that's all right. They have good attackers. I'm not sure of their midfield. They have Paredes from Juventus, who is unknown at Juventus, from PSG. They have decent defenders. Sandro Martinez. I think Garnacho is in the squad of Manchester United. Of course, I think Messi is going to lead Argentina far in this world. I think Messi is going to lead Argentina as far as he did with Argentina in 2014. Good thing there's no Higuain in the Argentina squad right now. So there's a chance Argentina can actually go to the final. Germany, man. Germany has good players. Leroy Sané, Gnabry, Toni Kroos. It's very unfortunate that Royce, man. It's unfortunate with Royce, man. This brethren should have at least been at 3 World Cups. I think he was at the 2014. What was he at the 2014? If he was not the 2014 World Cup, then he was not at the 3 World Cup. He's not at this World Cup, which is very unfortunate. This dude's plagued with injuries, like he was just born with injuries from his mama's womb. He can't catch a break with injuries. Like injuries has just have this spell on his brethren. It's like close to a football tournament, whether it's Euros or the World Cup, he gets an injury and he gets missed out. Very unfortunate for Marco Reus. But as I was saying with Germany, I think Germany is going to probably get dropped out of the quarter. This is not vintage Germany. As Thomas Müller, man, I know Thomas Müller has a leash on Barcelona, but I don't see Germany going that far, man. Germany is too slow of a side to at least. I mean, they're going to win their games, Germany. Don't get twisted, but as relates to like knockout rounds, that's where I ask questions about the success of Germany. If Leroy Sané and Gnabry starts, given that those are the only 2 players that has a lot of pace with Timo Werner. Did Timo Werner get called up, by the way? I don't even know. But maybe if Timo Werner is called up, they have a lot of pace, but they need to know to utilize that squad, man. Thomas Müller should be playing as striker, in my opinion. Not because he's one of the top scorers and he should get more goals, but that's where he plays best for Germany, is as a striker. He's been playing striker since 2010 with Klose up till 2014. Yeah, yeah. So that's where Thomas Muller should be playing for Germany, in my opinion. Gnabry should not be playing. I see Gnabry play as striker in the Euros, and this bridging was just obsolete. I didn't even know this dude was on the football pitch. I don't even see why Gnabry was playing as striker. Don't play as Gnabry as striker, man. This dude, man. This I the incompetence was very was very apparent. It was very overt. You could have seen it that Gnabry in the Euros was not made to play as striker for Germany. Make Thomas Müller play there. That's where Thomas Müller needs to be playing. So yeah, Germany cannot make amends. I think they can go to the quarterfinals, semi-finals, but I don't see them going to the finals, in my opinion. Leave your comments down below, man. I've been rambling for a long bit. I want to hear what you guys have to say on this, man, because this World Cup, man, is going to be quite a World Cup. It goes without saying. When it comes down to the World Cup, it's going to be quite a World Cup. No exceptions. Who else? Belgium. I said this to my brethren, man. Me and him was just tackling on the topic when we were on the phone. If Belgium gets knocked, definitely if Belgium get knocked out at the group stage, or them drop out at the round of 16, or them drop out of the quarterfinals, Roberto Martinez, the manager of Belgium, needs to be sacked. I've been calling for this Brethren's head in 2018. I'm not even a supporter of Belgium. But the fact is that I'm a football fan at the end of the day. If you look at the Belgium side, they have ripe, seasoned, in their prime players that are not playing up to par. Yes, they've played good sometimes, but when it comes down to going far in the tournament or tournaments, because they didn't go that far in the 20, well, they go a bit far in the Euros, but not as far as you would expect a side like Belgium. You would expect Belgium to at least hit the semi-finals or the finals or something like that. Martinez has a stacked side of stars. De Bruyne, who is not getting younger. Eden Hazard, who is not getting younger. Hazard has passed his best for 3 years now. Lukaku, all I wouldn't say he's a star player, but he's a star when it comes on to Belgium. He's Belgium's top scorer, so we have to give him credit. Who else is a star for Belgium? Courtois, the goalkeeper. Who is a star for Belgium? That Brighton youth, the player that plays for Brighton, his name is Trossard or something like that? Yeah. Benteke, not particularly a star, but he can do his thing when called upon. Who else? Not Nkoudou, that wide youth. And he was a bright shining light in Euros for Belgium on the left hand side. Man, he had man on toes every time when he had the ball at his foot. I can't remember his name right now. But yeah, man, that Belgium side can do something in this World Cup, man. They can. England. Listen, man. The thing about England is this, man. England does not have the experience. When England went to the semi-finals and Trippier scored a free kick against Croatia, that is where England fans thought this was it. That they could actually bring it home. They could actually win the tournament. They don't care if France went to the final or whoever France beat in the semi-finals to go in the final. The fact was that they were on their way to the final until they crumbled because Croatia was all over them in the second half of extra time, and they won the game. And they went to the final, and England got knocked out. But this tournament, I don't see England going that far, man. Goes without saying. England does not have the cohesiveness or the unity to be going far deep into this World Cup tournament. They have good players. But what have I said about Manchester United for the last at least 2 years? I said you can buy any great player, from Riquelme to Ronaldinho, Kaka, Totti, whoever. But if there is not an implemented system to benefit all those players are going to look average and they're not going to be as effective as they can be. I did say that. So England have good players, but given that they have a wussy of a manager who is very incompetent, yes, he brought them to the semi-finals of the World Cup 2018. Yes, he brought them to the finals in the Euros, but there was nothing to show for it. And even when he brought the England side to the finals of the Euros, they were not playing particularly well. They were living off of scraps. And man like Sterling was diving for goals. So it's not like they were playing this good football, enticing football that was very convincing, cutting sides to shreds and leaving them apart. England scrapped their way to the final. I'm not hating on England, because if it is a World Cup, you have to do what you have to do to get goals and get an advance to the next stage. But given the players that England have, they should be doing better than that. That's something what Slovakia, not even Croatia, because Croatia is a decent side. Small sides will be doing to scrap off goals, live off penalties, and go into the next round. So I don't see England going far deep into this tournament, man. Again, they don't have the competence of a manager to lead them that far. If they surprise me, I'll give them kudos. I'll give them daps and respect. But in my opinion, judging from right now, I don't see them going that far, man. So yes, okay, let's move on before I get into this long digression. Who I believe will be winning the tournament of this World Cup. I know it's early windows to call, but I'm gonna have my say right now, so persons can't accuse me of saying, yes, I knew this brethren, this unknown youth on YouTube. He said that, France go in the World Cup when France was in the final. I think that's foul. If he did say it before the tournament started or when the tournament started, so he goes say France go in the tournament, I would give him kudos. But this brethren said that France would win the tournament when France in the final. So I'm gonna have my say right now on who's going to win the tournament. France. If there is an other side that can challenge France, bring him to the table. Bring them to the table. Yes, I have my woes about France's midfield, but still, if there is a better side than France that can win the tournament, bring it to the table. Bring the side to the closest side that can beat France is Argentina, and and probably Belgium if Belgium stop pussyfooting around. But Argentina is the closest side I can see that can actually beat France. So I see France holding on to the title, winning their third or fourth or whatever, World Cup trophy, whatever. Oh, Brazil. I ain't gonna give you guys left out Roberto Firmino of Liverpool. No, I'm not saying that Roberto Firmino is the same Roberto Firmino of 2017 to 2019, because Firmino is washed. But Firmino should still be in a squad. If you go call up man like Richarlison and a few other players that has lesser goals in the Premier League than Firmino, Firmino should have been on that boat of Brazil to the World Cup. And he's not on that boat to Brazil in the World Cup. So I don't know why you left him out for. It goes without saying they're going to be heavily reliant on Neymar and Vinicius Jr. Casemiro, they have a good midfield in Casemiro. Fred. I guess Fred can. Some person said that Fred play much better for Brazil than Man United. We'll see that this tournament. They have world-class goalkeepers. They have world-class players. I think Brazil, the farthest I see Brazil going is like the quarterfinals. I don't see them going to the semis. I don't think Brazil has the strong mentality to go that far in the World Cup. And again, that was questioned when Brazil was at their peak in 2006. And they got dropped out at the group stage. Not group stage, that's a lie. They got dropped out by France by a 34-year-old Zinedine Zidane, who was at the end of his peak, washed up, but he was still doing it at a 34-year age. France called up back this bridge out of tournament, out of international retirement, to go play back for France for the last time in the World Cup 2006. And he played for 2006 with France, and he dominated that prime peaked Brazil side in the midfield. And they got knocked out. Brazil got knocked out because their mentality, man. Hey, I'll say this about, and this is nothing against Brazilian players, and I've said this before. You can have all the flair that you want. You can have all the enticing type of football that you want. You could have the fastest feet, since Speedy Gonzalez for Brazil. The fact is this. If there was one problem with the Brazil side, and it's been ever since 2006, is that their mentality is poor. Brazil was leading Netherlands in 2010 in the World Cup. They crumbled to Netherlands in the second half. And when they crumbled, they lost their head. Felipe Melo got red card because my man stomped on Aaron Robins' left foot. And Dunga, who was managing Brazil at the time, lost it on the sideline. He lost his head because they were in front, and because of poor mentality, they were the second best. They were sloppy seconds. They were losing the game. Brazil doesn't have the mentality, man. They don't have the mentality. They have the mentality of Manchester United, really. Well, I would say past Manchester United, because Manchester United is improving because we have everything hug. So yeah, I do not see Brazil cutting the cake in the story. They can go to the quarterfinals, but I don't think they're going to really do a lot. I just don't see it. There will be a lot of I'll say this, man. This is the World Cup, so this has to be said. As the Bible said, there will be a lot of wailing, there will be a lot of tears shed, persons will be running for the hills, persons will be crying, people will be depressed, people will try to commit suicide. And this is not me calling suicide, but persons are going to attempt, not really attempt it, but persons are going to contemplate it. This is the World Cup. Persons take the World Cup seriously. Persons die because of the World Cup. There was a defender from Colombia that scored an own goal, and this Bridgen was killed by his own fans because his goal knocked out Colombia and he got killed by his own fans. I think he committed suicide, or is the fans kill him? Well, I'll say this. The fans still kill him whether it's directly or indirectly. If he committed suicide, it's because of the criticisms from his own fans. And that led to him doing himself like that. If the fans go kill him, that's a direct killing. Like the fans literally kill him and say, yo, why score your own goal pound for? You idiot. So persons take this game seriously, man. People's house will be on fire, man. There will be stones thrown at team buses, man. This is what you have to expect in the tournament. So they'll get Portugal. Let me finish on Portugal before I finish this video. Portugal have good players, but I don't see them going far in the tournament, man. Cristiano Ronaldo, this is his last World Cup. Messi at his last World Cup. Ochoa at his last World Cup, hopefully, for Mexico. Godado at his last World Cup, hopefully, for Mexico. Pepe at his last World Cup, hopefully, for Portugal. So I don't see Ronaldo and Portugal going far deep in this tournament, man. I can be surprised, but I don't see this side got knocked out by France convincingly in the Euros. My man played Bruno Fernandes as a right winger. If things go continue like that, you guys not going far deep in the tournament, man. Bruno Fernandes can't play wing, man. He doesn't have the feet for that. And you go play Bruno Fernandes on the right wing against France in Euros. I'll say this. Portugal, at the farthest I see Portugal actually going is the quarterfinals again. Yeah, there will be some good sides dropping out of the quarterfinals. Book the time I said this. There are going to be some good sides dropping. I'm not even going to touch on Spain. I don't want this video to be very long. I should have been done before 20 minutes, but I've added another 20 minutes. The thing with Spain, man, Spain is not the great Spain of 2010 or 2012, man. This is not the same Spain, man. You have Luis Enrique. Luis Enrique is a good manager. I don't see. If Morata is going to be your striker, man, you guys not going no far, man. You guys not going far. I was just talking about mentality. Morata has the mentality of a bubble. This bridge will burst at any moment where there is pressure. I don't see. If this is the dude that's going to be leading the line of Spain, again, I do not see them going far. I don't see them going far. They might drop out at the quarterfinals, or even in the round of 16, or even in the group stage. Leave your comments down below. I need to finish the video right now, man. Leave your comments down below in the comment section. I want to see who you think is going to, number one, who you believe is going to win the tournament. Who you believe is going to get knocked out, a top sides that's going to get knocked out early. If you want to leave who you think is going to be top scorer. Oh, Mane got left out of the World Cup. Man, I could have gone down the list, man. Too much things to mention. I'm not going to say who's going to be. I don't have a good understanding as yet to see who's going to be top scorer. Because you can be a world-class striker and play for a side, but it don't mean you go be top scorer in the tournament. So I have to see how the games are going so far. Ask me after the first week of the matches being played. Then I'll probably give you my estimation as to who is going to be top scorer. Well, I know Valencia is top scorer, alright, currently anyway. But yeah, leave your comments down below in the comment section. I want to hear what you guys have to say. With that being said, I'll show you guys in the next video podcast. I believe I may do a video. I'm not doing a video tomorrow. Not on Tuesday because I have work and I have to get rest and so forth. But we'll see how things go, man. We'll see how things go. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Enjoy the World Cup. It's there for a reason. I'll show you guys next video podcast. I'm out.